What's smoking, dragons? It's Kimmy and welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I'm so excited for today's video because it's a video I've been meaning to make for a really long time. I'm finally gonna be talking all about my tattoos today. Yay! I love tattooing, I love tattoos. It's been a huge part of my life for the past 10 years. I've been getting tattooed for about 10 years now. Yeah, I did get my first tattoo when I was really young, way underage, don't recommend it. This video today is going to be the story of all of that. A lot of people ask me, how many tattoos do you have? And I don't know how to answer that question because I have a lot of tattoos where it could count as one or it could count as two. I have Ancora Imparo that I got before I got these portraits. So I don't know if that's considered one tattoo or two tattoos. But I mean, I would say I'm like 30% covered, 20% covered. I mean, my legs are pretty empty compared to the rest of my body. I'm trying to save space on my legs so I can tattoo myself because it's the only part of my body I can actually see and stretch and tattoo properly. I did a whole video on tattooing this part of my leg. And yes, I'm a little sunburnt from living in LA. So if you're joining me today, I really hope you have something to enjoy with me, like a snack or a drink or something, because you might need it. Go ahead and grab all your snacks, your drinks, your joints, your blunts, and let's blaze. Okay, so let's just start from the very beginning. When I was 4 years old, I saw a tattooed woman for the first time, and I remember thinking, holy shit, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I grew up really heavily influenced by rock music, rock bands, heavy metal, and everyone I looked up to growing up had tattoos. Everything my mom told me I couldn't do, I just wanted to do it more. I wanted to paint my nails, I wanted to wear earrings, I wanted to dye my hair, and those things might not sound like a big deal to you, but in my family, it really was. My family is very not about all of this, you know. But I was like a little rebel and I knew I was gonna do it anyway. And where I grew up, there was no age limit for tattoo shops, so I couldn't wait. I was 14 years old and I was ready to get my first tattoo. It was work experience week where they send you off to whatever job you wanted to do. So I was working in a music studio and it was boring as fuck. So my best friend at the time and I decided to just play hooky and go out and get tattoos. It was pretty spontaneous. I knew I wanted something music related. I knew music was something I was going to do for the rest of my life and I still do it to this day. So I don't necessarily regret this tattoo, but I mean, if that tattoo was not there, I could have this beautiful portrait done by Bob Tyrell, you know, completely filled out without this there. But you know what, I kind of really don't mind it. It comes with a lot of beautiful memories. I've been singing and writing music ever since I was 10 years old. I started doing it seriously when I was 13. I even ended up going to music college. I spent 2 years at Berklee College of Music, which was my dream school at the time. I love music, I'll always love music, so yeah. As you can see, I have a lot of birds tattooed on me. I got this silhouette over here. I got these two sparrows over here. The first bird I ever got tattooed was this little dove back here. I wanted something I could hide. I was 15 at the time, and I wanted something that represented peace and love. But I didn't just want to get peace or love, even though I do have a peace sign tattooed over here. This was a friendship tattoo with someone I'm not even friends with anymore, so it's just a peace sign now. I remember right after I got this tattoo, I would wear off-the-shoulder sweaters and tops and stuff all the time just so I could show off this tattoo. I never actually noticed this tattoo except when I'm doing like a photo shoot or something and I have to go like this and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a tattoo back there. Oh yeah, that's right. I have this quote on my arm. It takes up my entire arm and I wanted it that way. I wanted this arm to be pictures and this arm, at least this part of my arm, to be just text. So it's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. Got it when I was 18 years old. It says, "The wise man in the storm prays not for safety from danger, but for deliverance from fear." And that quote really spoke to me just because I think it's a really great way to live life. When I'm in times of shit and just absolute fuckery and I feel like life is against me and God is really testing me right now, I don't want to be praying saying keep me sheltered and, you know, protect me from everything. I want to be praying saying give me the strength to do this, give me the motivation, give me the ability, give me everything I need so that I can take this head on instead of hide from it. I've always believed in that mentality. I've always believed in that quote. So I got it tattooed on me. Tattoos are supposed to tell your story and about who you are as a person. And people should, you know, get to know you by looking at your tattoos. So the next 2 tattoos I'm about to show you guys are the tattoos with the most meaningful story. The only 2 sad tattoos I have. The first one is on my wrist. I designed it myself. It says life one way and death the other way. When I was in 11th or 12th grade, I was 17 years old. One of my close friends passed away. One of my close friends took her own life. It's not something I like to talk about a lot, but you know, it happened. It taught me a lot. It happened at a time where I was extremely vulnerable. I struggled with a lot of body issues. I was going through a lot at home. And then one of my close friends passes away. And I was literally thinking about killing myself like a week before she died. Like, looking back on it now, like, I can smile and laugh, but like, it's not funny. Suicide and depression and mental health is not something I take very lightly. I've come to a point where I'm, you know, happy with myself and happy with where I am in life and stuff, that I can bring myself to talk about it and look back. I got this soon after she died. I was 17 at the time, so I wasn't going to get like a portrait or like a name or anything like that. I was thinking more like symbolism at the time. Basically, at the time, my thought process getting this tattoo was that there's a very fine line between life and death. And just like this tattoo, it's all about perspective and it's about how you look at it. So that's the reasoning behind this tattoo. It's a reminder that life is worth living and that sometimes I need to see life a different way. Whew. The second sad tattoo I have is a portrait of my cat Ziggy with his ashes in the ink. Okay, and this one I'm like a little more emotional about just because it's a little more recent. This cat, his name is Ziggy. He was my best friend and he fell off a balcony. And it's a day I will never forget for the rest of my life. It was an accident. It was a total accident. And to this day, I still blame myself like every day. The screen was on, but the window was open, even with the screen on. And basically, he clawed his way through the screen and there was a little ledge that was too thin and he didn't realize how thin it was. And by the time he realized it was too thin, it was too late. Me and my boyfriend, we reached out to try to save him, but it was too late. It was too late. There's nothing we could have done. And he just slipped. I just stood there in complete disbelief. Like, I was looking down and my cat was like laid out on the road. And to this day, I blame myself. I still remember what he looked like. It's a mental picture that's stuck in my head for the rest of my life. And I try not to think about it because if I go there, I'll be stuck there, you know what I mean? He was my best friend. He was my best friend. I was going through so much at the time. I was in my lowest point of depression. I spent like 3 months in my room. You could not see my floor because it was so filled with junk and trash. I didn't give a fuck. It was terrible and Ziggy got me out of that. And yeah, so that's why I have this tattoo. Oh my god, I need to calm the fuck down after that. Sorry, like I really try not to cry. I knew that telling that story was gonna be extremely emotional for me. But hey, at least you guys know that that was real and that was me being completely just transparent and honest with you guys. But hey, this is what this whole video is about anyway. It's all about my tattoos, so boom, there you go. My favorite tattoos. I look at it every day. His ashes are in it, which means he's with me forever and ever and ever till the day I die. I will literally name my first child after Ziggy. I wish I had a funny tattoo to go off of after that, but I don't have any joke tattoos or funny tattoos just yet. When I first started getting tattooed, I really wanted everything to have a meaning and a story and all of that. And as I got older, I kind of just not necessarily stopped caring, but I realized there was no problem with having a tattoo just because it looks fucking good. Your body is your canvas, and I want to live and die a walking masterpiece. It's always gonna be a work in progress, but I have the rest of my life to paint it. So definitely one of my favorite tattoos has to be this one on my thigh. It's a little pistol with a little purple bow wrapped around it, and it goes all the way around. The guy who did this actually actually just won Ink Master. DJ Tambi did this. I literally flew to San Diego because he was guest spotting there at the time. Not to sound like a total hipster, but this was before he won Ink Master, okay? Found him on Instagram and he had an opening, so I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Now looking back, I kind of wish I'd gotten to do something with color because his color work is insane. I don't have that much color work on me except these roses. This red rose I got so spontaneously. I met this tattoo artist at lunch. She told me she was a tattoo artist and I was like, fuck yeah, I hadn't started tattooing yet. And we really got along. She was like, yeah, I'll do it for you for 50 bucks. And I'm like, okay. Later I found out she was just apprenticing at the time, which is why she did it for so cheap. I didn't even know apprentices could get paid for tattoos. During my apprenticeship, I didn't get paid shit. Kinda needs to get fixed a little bit. There's some missing parts, but all in all, it's not bad, you know? Definitely gonna get it touched up. Definitely gonna get this touched up. But yeah, moving on, I don't even know where to move on to. I got a portrait of my grandmother by one of my heroes, Bob Tyrell. I have looked up to his work ever since I started tattooing. He is literally the reason why I love tattooing portraits in black and gray. It's literally the best tattoo I have. I have a Latin quote right here on my collarbone. It says, ad astra per aspera. It means through the thorns to the stars. AKA, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. AKA, you go through shit, but you're gonna be okay. Yeah, I have a lot of tattoos referring to that mentality. Go through shit, but you're gonna be okay. And then, I got my Game of Thrones tattoo. Game of Thrones fans, where you at? Where you at? If you know what this tattoo means, leave a comment right now, just so I can see where all my Game of Thrones fans at. It says Valar Morghulis, which is the language of High Valyrian in Westeros, Game of Thrones world. And it translates to all men must die. To someone who doesn't watch Game of Thrones, that might sound really like, what the fuck? I've gotten a few people that are like, yo, like, are you sexist? Are you saying like all men must die? Is that a super feminist thing? First of all, that's not what feminism is about, okay? Okay, it's not about hating men, okay? And it's something they say a lot to each other in the books, like Valar Morghulis, Valar Loharis. In this life, all men will die. All men not will serve. Some people are born kings and will never serve. I just love it. It cuts, and in a way, it's kind of like saying YOLO. I still have a lot of tattoos I didn't talk about, like this huge one right here that takes up literally my entire side, as well as tattoos I fucking regret, like this one. Oh my god. That deserves a whole other story time, but you guys will just have to stay tuned. I hope I included enough for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you guys have any tattoos, I would love to hear about them down in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on social media for fun updates, giveaways, and all sorts of good stuff. I'm always doing stuff on Instagram and stories. I story like way too much. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a part 2. Keep breathing fire, my little dragons. And until next time, stay high.